Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Andrea Caulfield. I am Senior Manager of Membership here at ASTA, and I will be serving today as the moderator for today's webinar. Before we get started, I'd like to review a couple housekeeping items with you. We will be answering questions at the end of the presentation. To ask a question, you will go to your GoToWebinar pane. Near the bottom of that pane, you will see an area that says questions. If you click on the arrow next to where it says questions, it will open up into a window pane, and this is what you will use to communicate with us. If you are having trouble hearing the presentation, make sure your speakers are turned on, and if you've dialed in, please hang up and try again. You can send me any technical issues via the questions pane as well, and I will answer them as quickly as possible. Please note that everyone is muted today, so everyone is able to hear the presentation in its entirety. And it also prevents background noise from being prohibitive. This webinar is also being recorded and will be available on asta.org in the next few days. So now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tammy, and we're going to go ahead and get started.
Thanks, Andrea. Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for giving us your time today. It's going to be an awesome presentation. I just wanted to come on camera, let you know who I am, say hello, let you know I'm here with you live, and this is going to be a great time. So a couple of things. We've got to put the do not disturb on our phones, number one. Second thing, get your pen and paper because I go pretty fast and I share a lot of really great nuggets. So you definitely want to be paying attention. Are we good? Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and then we'll be able to get rolling here on the presentation. And I'm excited to be talking with you all today about doubling and tripling your travel business with Destination Weddings. Can I get a amen? Okay, so here is what we are going to be going over today. First, we're going to be talking about why now is the best time to be considering specializing in destination weddings. I'm also going to be going over a formula to make $20,000 from one destination wedding. We are going to talk about the #1 way for you to get leads for your business. And of course, this would work regardless of what you do in the travel industry. And then also a free resource I'll have available to you. And then, like Andrea said, we're going to be open for some Q&A. But before we do that, you're probably like, who is Tammy Santini? So I wanted to introduce myself to you officially. And I am a destination wedding designer and business coach and the owner of Paradise Getaways, a multiple six-figure destination wedding business. And I'm also the creator of the 20K System and Toolkit, which is North America's premier destination wedding business building course, as well as a creator of the 20K Content Hero, which is a done-for-you romance travel content membership that I do specifically for agents who specialize in honeymoons and destination weddings as well. I started my business back in 2008, and since then I have planned hundreds of honeymoons, dozens and dozens of destination weddings. Over the years, I've been awarded different things. I've been a top 100 star performer in the US for classic vacations. And that award allowed my husband and I to be invited to a special ceremony in Hawaii and enjoy an amazing bucket list vacation while we were there. I have been a multiple time, pardon me, GIVC award winner, 3-time Chairman's Royal Club winner, and I have also been named the top wedding seller in the USA for Playa Resorts, which was a really, really exciting award to receive. I've had now it's well over 140 5-star reviews on Wedding Wire, but first let's get real for a second. You're like, oh my gosh, look at her, she's amazing. Well, let's just get real. It wasn't always that way, okay? When I started my travel business, my husband and I were also a newly married family. We blended our families together. I have 3 daughters, he has 2, and now we have the 5, and we were almost the Brady Bunch, not quite, but all girls. lots of drama. If I could say anything else, that's definitely a good way to describe my family. We lived in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. Yes, 7 people, 1 bathroom. My poor husband never had a chance. Not sure how we ever survived that. My husband was a school teacher at the time that we started our business, as well as a wedding DJ, and he would do these wedding DJ gigs. You know, we just needed that extra income to make things happen for us, you know, on a monthly basis for our family. And when we started, if you paid attention to my 2008 timeframe of starting, there was a recession going on in the world. If you remember that, and a lot of travel agencies were closing their doors. This seems very familiar to what we're all experiencing right now, doesn't it? So I think that my story today may inspire you as you step out and build your own business during this time in the history of our world. So travel agencies closing their doors, recession going on. We step into this industry with zero knowledge. Like, I'm telling you, we had zero experience. And we quickly figured out, like, oh my gosh, we are way in over our heads. There's a lot to know. So we knew that in order for us to really make our mark in the industry, we've got to specialize. So we decided to go into the wedding industry. I don't know if it's because my husband maybe had a few connections, you know, with being in a wedding DJ and was part of some bridal associations. Maybe that's why. I don't remember. But I really think that we just felt drawn to help those types of couples, you know, couples who were planning their honeymoon, and just thought it was a fun thing. But just like you, right? We started our business. We're like, okay, now what? What do we do? How in the heck are we going to do this? So we sought the help of the experts. You know, how do we build our business? How do we market ourselves? How do we, you know, make money in this industry? What the heck is a host agency? What is a consortium? I do not understand, right? And then we got our website, and then we got another website, and then we got another website. Well, let's just say that we thought our website was one of the issues we were having in building our business. Not so much. We just didn't know how to market ourselves the right way. We, of course, affiliated with different bridal shops and different associations and did all the networking events, and we did wedding shows. Why? Well, because we were kind of told that's what you're supposed to do. So that's what we did. We invested in wedding shows. We got all the, you know, the paraphernalia that you needed, and we invested that time and money. And, you know, I'm not saying it was a negative situation, but as time went on, we were realizing, like, we're still battling online. These couples are going online, and what we were dealing with was a bunch of tire kickers, a bunch of people who are wasting our time, a bunch of people who are taking our information and running. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, I'm sure you do. There's probably some of you out there nodding your head right now. And here's the thing. We were doing all these things. We were spending all this time. We were spending all this money. We were doing what the experts told us to do, investing in what we were told to invest in. And I still found myself in a place where I had to barter my time in order to pay for my daughters to go to gymnastics. Well, this just caused me to be ultra frustrated. Here I was doing what they said to do, and I was still having I still couldn't afford to pay for my kids' gymnastics fees. Well, one of these days when I was at the gym cleaning, I got super frustrated, and I was just like, God, am I cut out for this? Like, is this industry even profitable? Like, how are people making money doing this, right? And he simply said destination weddings. So I was like, okay, God, I'm going to dive into destination weddings. I'm very intimidated by them. I'm very scared about it. I did not understand how they would work. I literally thought I could ruin somebody's wedding. I thought I had to be there. I thought I had to set it up. I'm like, I don't know anything about this, right? But that decision changed my business, and it ultimately changed my life. And I'm going to share with you in a little bit exactly some of the tangible ways that it changed my life, because I want to see you have the same results in your business. But first, let's talk about why right now is a golden window of opportunity to specialize in destination weddings. It's unlike anything we have ever seen before. And as we're still coming out of the pandemic and so many couples and other travelers got burned, they do not want to DIY more than ever before. Couples want the help of a professional. And so this has opened up a new window of opportunity that for wedding couples to work with us who absolutely want to have their destination wedding, but don't want to do it on their own. They're too nervous. They don't want to deal with the logistics of planning their destination wedding. So this is a good thing for you. Well, I'm sure that you know over the 4th of July holiday, all the cray stuff that was going on in the industry, but the airlines, right? 1,800 flights canceled, 22,000 flights delayed. Couples do not want to stress over this anymore, and they are willing to pay for a professional to help them navigate this new normal of travel, dealing with these COVID rules, and they are willing to pay for that. So you might be thinking, I see what you're saying here, Tammy, but what about the record inflation? What about the high gas prices? What about these airfare rates that are just crazy? And what if the economy starts slowing down? Like, I see where you're going, but let's be real here, right? And these are great questions. The truth is that two industries have always rebounded from any type of tragedy, pandemic, any type of slow economic issue. And it is, if you have a guess to it, two industries, travel and wedding. Travel and weddings are always going to be ones, powerhouse economic, that just are not going to, they're going to bounce back very quickly. And this article that I saw, despite inflation and rising costs, travel is still top of mind for U.S. consumers. Now, I hate saying that anything positive came out of a pandemic, right? But this latest research shows that despite what's going on right now, people are not willing to forsake travel, and they put up with not being able to travel, right? So now they're willing to do whatever it takes to be able to travel. And couples, no matter what we do, couples are still going to get married. This is one of the reasons why my husband and I were like, we want to go into a niche in travel that does have a little bit of a recession proof to it, right? And marriage, people are going to get married. They're going to go on their honeymoon. They maybe not are going to spend as much on their honeymoon, but they're still going to get married and they're still going to go, right? And this is good news for destination wedding planners. We can always count on the fact that people are going to pay for what they want, right? So let's think about it this way. I know I'm going to be talking to some people. Who are my coffee lovers out there? I'm a coffee lover. I can do black coffee, though. I don't have to have the foo-foo drink. But it's always fun sometimes to really treat yourself to something a little bit more foo-foo, isn't it? Even if it's a fancy tea. But let's think about how many people buy an expensive coffee every day. Some people do it every single day. And most of these fancy coffee drinks are more than a gallon of gas, right? But couples and people are still buying these things while they complain about the high gas prices, right? We're probably all like, oh, guilty. But couples are the same way. They will pay for what they want. Here's the thing. It's our job to make them want to book you for their destination wedding. So let me tell you a story of a maid of honor. So I had a last minute destination wedding booked, and they're traveling in September. And anyway, the maid of honor reached out to me and she was like, how much is this going to cost me? And, I had to let her know. And she responded, she's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to go. And I'm thinking, she's the maid of honor. She has to go, right? And she's like, is there anything you can do? Can you change when the deposits due? Can you change when the balance is due? And I'm like, I really can't, I'm sorry. And, I remember having this conversation with the bride and her family beforehand. I'm like, this isn't going to give if we set this up, it's not going to give your guests very much time. Well, so the maid of honor is like peacing out. I told the bride, I was like, your maid of honor is pretty much panicking and saying she can't come. Well, literally, I want to say less than 5 days later, the maid of honor books her trip, pays in full, and pays for her airfare, buys her airfare separately, forwards me a copy of her airfare. She had spent $950 on her flight, $2,000 and some dollars on her stay for the wedding. So $3,000 she came up with. She went from, I don't think I can go, to here's the $3,000 it takes for me to go. So I'm telling you, people will pay for what they want. We need to make sure that we're positioning ourselves for these couples to want us, right? To want you for their destination wedding. So let's roll here quickly now into the next thing that I wanted to share with you. And that's the formula to make $20,000 or more from one destination wedding. Are you ready? Okay, let's do this. So there are 4 ways that you can make money as a destination wedding specialist. Okay, so there's the travel commission, which most of you here probably understand what that is all about, right? As travel professionals, we make a commission on what we sell. Same thing with the destination weddings. We're selling a group travel essentially, and so we're getting the travel commission. So that's the bulk of the income that we make in these destination weddings. Then there's the wedding commission. Now, some resort brands will give you a commission off of the wedding package that a couple will select. Some resort brands will give you a commission of 10% off of every single thing that your wedding couple selects for their wedding. So their package, their decor, their lighting, their menu. And some resort brands won't give you anything for the wedding commission. So that's not always going to be an option, depending on who you partner with, where you send the couple to for their wedding. There's the professional planning fee, which you should be charging, and you deserve to get paid a healthy professional planning fee. And then there's the option for a bonus commission that comes directly from the resort brand. So partnering with the right resorts and all of that is going to, make a difference in how much you get paid ultimately. But I'm going to give you 2 real life examples of couples that I've worked with. So Jeff and Deanna, for them, they were referred to me, so I gave them kind of a discount on my professional planning fee. So I only charged them $1,500 for my professional planning fee. They had 100 people attend their wedding, and I made $19,000 from the travel commission. I had a bonus commission from the resort of $810, and then I received a wedding commission of $2,543. So in this situation, this resort brand gave me 10% of everything that the wedding couple selected for their wedding. So they spent $25,430 on their wedding items, and I got $2,500. I did not sit in any meeting to pick out those things. I did not set any of that up. I didn't tear any of that down. I just got that nice wedding commission as a result of referring essentially this couple to work with this particular, to get, married at this particular resort. So total earned $23,856 from one destination wedding. I want you to think about that for a second for yourself, for your business. We all can agree that at times it can be a little bit challenging to get leads, especially when you're new, right? And so imagine if you got one lead and you sold that lead and you made $23,856, how would that change your life? How would that change your business? How would that change your family? How would that change the choices that you have in life, right? Like really, really think about that. So, and then I also earned points for discounted travel. All right, one other quick example I'll zoom through here. Hannah and David, I also had a $1,500 planning fee for them. That's my professional planning fee. I had a commission for 61 guests. So they had 61 guests join them, $14,500. A wedding commission of $2,640. So again, in this situation, again, they spent like $26,000 on their wedding. I got 10% of that. Total earned $18,692, plus I earned points for free and discounted travel. So the end result of what I'm trying to say is literally you could do 5 to 10 weddings per year to make a 6-figure income as a destination wedding specialist. 5 to 10, that's it. So 5 to 10 couples you're working with each year to make that 6-figure income. So real change, as you can see, like, okay, this is a significant amount of money, right? And you do that multiple times over and over again, then it adds up, right? So real change happened in my life. We went from, we started being able to pay our cars off in cash, and we went from that place of not being able to pay for our kids to go to gymnastics and be a part of the competitive team to paying cash for them to graduate college. Okay, that's a huge distinction between going from that place of bartering my time, cleaning the gym, to paying cash for them to go to college. They didn't have any debt when they graduated college. We retired my husband at the age of 50 from being a teacher to work our business full time. So if you're wanting to quit your 9 to 5, this was a possibility. This became possible for us in our business because of Destination Weddings. And we were able to upgrade from our tiny but cute 3-bedroom, 1-bath home to our first dream home. And I'm happy to tell you, drum roll please, dun, 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 we have 3 bathrooms, yay! And we were able to remodel our kitchen and pay cash for that. I call it my HGTV kitchen. And you know what, in all honesty, the memories of the vacations that we've been able to go on with our family, those are irreplaceable. And it's something that never truly would have been possible if we were not in this industry. And I want to tell you that this isn't just my business. This isn't just happening for me. This is happening for the people that I'm coaching in my community, in my 20K system and toolkit community. So I put a post in our Facebook group about the number one thing that hey, what's the number one benefit for being part of 20K? And Karen had said, hey, if I need to narrow it down, which is going to be hard, what I charge, charge what I'm worth, and closing the sale. So essentially closing the sale, charging what she's worth, is how she could narrow down her benefits. I've said it before, God put you in my life for a reason. You're the answer to my prayers, very grateful. And then she just got paid for her 21st destination wedding that she's booked. She's been in our program for less than 2 years. So she, in less than 2 years, during this time frame of life, 2020, 2021, right, 2022, 21 weddings booked. So I'm telling you this, I'm sharing this with you so that you understand that this is a possibility for you right now in this season of the travel world, of the travel life that we're living in. So let's chat about getting qualified destination wedding leads. So I may start a tad bit of a controversy here on this next point, but the best way to get qualified wedding leads to your business is actually to stop trying to get every couple planning a destination wedding to come to your business. Yep, that's the truth. That's the truth. You want to stop trying to get everybody, because the best way to get the quality destination wedding couples into your business is to clearly identify which couples you desire to work with. We were all created to attract certain types of people. We all have different giftings, different things that we're skilled at naturally, and we want to be able to identify which couples need us. Which couples need us the most, and who do we want to attract? You are not meant to work with every single destination wedding couple, nor should you. Remember, all it takes is 5 to 10 weddings per year to make a 6-figure income. So let me share with you who my ideal destination wedding client is. So my couples who I discovered were the couples that were struggling with where to go for their destination wedding. They were on information overload, they were stressed out and maxed out. Okay, those were the couples that I truly felt called to help. All right, so once I figured that out, right, then I knew who I was going after, who I wanted to attract. And so what happened was I was attracting then couples who were willing to pay me as much as $2,500 for my professional planning services. They respected me, they treated me as a professional, they valued me, they valued my time, they valued my expertise, they valued my services. And so then what my husband and I did was we built a sales flow or a sales funnel for our business based on these type of wedding couples, and it started working like clockwork. So this is what you want to do as well in your business. Couples like Eugene and Tanisha, who gave me this amazing testimony or review saying I provided superior service, and then ultimately said Tammy is the best in the destination wedding industry. Now, if the reason why they can say that is because I knew who it was that I needed to help based on the giftings and the things that I knew I could do for a couple. So they're going to say that I'm the best, right? That's the reason why they did that. Okay. Eugene and Tanisha had 99 guests join them for their destination wedding, and I earned $17,000 from their wedding group and from their wedding overall. Amy and Nico had an awesome testimony as well. They said, thank you so much for all your help. Not only did we have the best 10 days of our life, but our guests continue to rave about their trips as well. Amy and Nico had 50 guests join them for their destination wedding, and I earned $12,000. I had cracked the code. I cracked the code. I'm no one special. I put my clothes on every day just like you do. So if I can do this, you can do this. I just figured out a way to start attracting those people that were like the best clients and my ideal clients. So I'm going to give you the most important elements that you should have in your destination wedding sales flow. Okay, so if I've lost it all, come on back to me, get your pen and paper, because we're going to go through a few steps here that you don't want to miss out on. All right, so step number one, you want to understand your ideal couple's biggest pain points. So are they struggling and stressing over COVID protocols? Are they struggling, stressing over finding the right location, right? Are they on information overload? Are they uncertain how to execute, right? What is stopping them from moving forward in their destination wedding planning? Write that question down. What is stopping my ideal client from moving forward in planning their destination wedding? So, right, I just gave you a few ideas. COVID, location, information overload. Like they know where to go, they just don't know how to make it happen. You know, the execution side of things. What is stopping them? All right. So you might be thinking, all right, how do I figure that out? How do I discover what their pain points are if I've never worked with a destination wedding couple, right? Or even a honeymoon couple, or I'm brand new and I haven't worked with any couple. We've all been there, okay? So just as a reminder, we've all started with no one, right? So a couple of ideas for that. One, you can, if you've been in the business for a while, you can look at all your past clients for some clues. You can also, you know, on figuring out what their pain points are, you can also look at the review and review all the testimonies that you've received in the past to look at any common threads. So every couple that's ever worked with you had this one thing to say about how you helped them. And so then you can, you know, dissect from there, you know, what that pain point was and how you were able to kind of bridge that gap, so to speak. You can join some Facebook groups with couples in them or brides in them. Now, you don't want to violate any rules or anything like that. You're there to listen, you're there to observe, you're there to pay attention to the questions and the struggles that these brides are having, okay? And then, of course, you can go on any type of forums, do a search for any forums of brides that are planning destination weddings and see what their questions are, see what it is that they're going to their peers and stuff for help when it comes to their destination wedding. So the second thing you want to do is create a free report. I call this a bride bribe. It's also known as a lead magnet. But anyway, you want to offer valuable advice. You want to give them a quick win, and you want to point to yourself as a solution. So when you do your free report the right way, you will naturally lead this couple to a place of saying, you know what, I just need to get with this, you know, with Tammy. I need to get with Ashley or whatever your name is, right? And because once you know these biggest pain points and struggles, that free report's going to give them that helpful advice and information that's going to give them that small win, right? It's going to help them to know, like, and trust you. And it's going to help them move forward toward having that perfect destination wedding, but it's not going to give them everything that they need, because the idea, like I had said before, is for them to ultimately need you. So this is a way to showcase that you are an expert, but also that they would be fools not to work with you. Essentially, okay? So a lead magnet, that is what you want to have. So as a reminder here of what we just talked about, a lead magnet is a valuable piece of information made specifically to help who? your ideal client overcome an obstacle. So a lead magnet helps your ideal client overcome an obstacle. So it's like you're handcrafting something for someone specific. It's not generic. It's not for everyone. It's answering a specific thing. It's helping them overcome a specific obstacle. All right, so the third thing you want to do is give that lead magnet a compelling name. So this is an example of what I have on my website. 4 insider secrets to discover the perfect location for your destination wedding or honeymoon without stress or overwhelm. Okay, so I want you to think back about who I told you my ideal client was. I told you that my ideal client was struggling to figure out where to go for their honeymoon destination wedding, that they were on information overload, and that they were stressed out and maxed out. So if I know that they feel that way and that they, this is where they're at, right? This is the obstacle that they're facing. They don't know where to go. They are getting overwhelmed with all the information. It's starting to, wear on them essentially. Do you think that the title of my free report, my lead magnet, would be enticing to my ideal client? 4 insider secrets to discover the perfect location for your destination wedding or honeymoon without stress or overwhelm. If you answered yes, then you are absolutely correct. So that's kind of how you want to set up that whole process. So here's a pro tip for you. Give your best quality. Your lead magnet needs to be so good that couples will raise their hand to give you their name and email. That's an opportunity for you to be able to follow up with them. It's an opportunity for you to take them from being somebody who follows you on social media to somebody who you have in your email, so you have more control over them. It's an opportunity for you to showcase that you are the expert and that you know what you are talking about. So let's look at some examples of lead magnets that are out there. You see these things all the time, left, right, and center. I'm constantly seeing the wonderful lead magnets out there, like drink this every morning to speed up your metabolism, 3 foods you should eat to reset your hormones now, that kind of stuff. Like, I'm at that age now where all this reset your hormones crap is like everywhere I turn on Facebook and on Instagram. So I'm telling you, pay attention to that kind of stuff, not from a perspective of getting sucked into it, but in how they're capturing your attention. That's what a lead magnet does. Okay, so here's an example of something that you might see out there, right? Results built for your body, world-class training programs, custom diet plans, premium content, and one-to-one training with certified V-Shred coaches. Take the free body type quiz to find out exactly what diet and exercises will get you the best results. Okay, so that kind of stuff, we're seeing it all over, but this is it, right? Oh, then we're enticed, right? Ooh, what's going to get me the best results for my body type? Ooh, what's this quiz? I need to find out, right? And then it makes you want to what? Click on the button. That's exactly what it does, right? When you click on the button, you give your name and email so that you can get the body type quiz results, right? Or, if you're trying to write a book, this one, grab your free story self-assessment, pinpoint your story strengths, right? So we're all seeing these things. So we want to create the same thing for our ideal clients. So a lead magnet is not only going to get you leads, but it's also going to get couples to get to know you, to like you, and to trust you as the expert. Okay, step 4. And I'm winding down here, so hang tight and we'll be open here for some Q&A in just a few minutes. So have a call to action. At the end of your lead magnet, you want to tell this couple what to do next. What do they do next? Well, I'm going to recommend to you to have them schedule a complimentary consultation, okay? So you're going to want to get a calendar, like do a calendar through like Calendly, have a few open times where you are available to consult with couples. They click on the link, they go to your calendar, and voila, you're getting the consultation scheduled, okay? This is how you weed out tire kickers. This is how you get people who are serious about wanting help from a professional for their destination wedding. This is how you showcase your expertise when you're having that call with them, when you're having that consultation with them, okay? And then the next thing that you want to do is to put that lead magnet everywhere. Okay, step 5, put it everywhere. You want to put it on your website. You want to put it on all your social profiles. If you have like a link tree, you're going to want to have a link to it there. You're going to want to put it in your videos, your podcasts, your blogs that you create. So you write a blog, at the end of it have a graphic for people to opt into your lead magnet. If you do a podcast, you put it in the show notes, right? If you do videos, you can put it in the summary of your video so that people can have a link to that. And any platforms that you advertise on, so like the Wedding Pro or anything like that, right? On your Google business profile, on your business cards, you can put it on there, create like a QR code, put it on your business cards. So here's the thing, I have a free kick butt resource for you to generate quality destination wedding leads. You do not have to fear about doing this all on your own. So I'm going to give you access to that here so that you can grab that when we're done. brideattract.com is where you're going to want to go to grab that free resource so that you can have start generating your own destination wedding leads and doing it over and over again. It's the ultimate checklist to multiply your destination wedding leads. Okay, and this is all about attracting those high quality wedding couples, escaping the drudgery of doing the wedding shows if that's something that you're just not interested in doing anymore, because they are tiring, they are expensive, right? And you just never know the ROI, right? You might as well. Here's the thing, these couples are online. No matter if you see them face to face in a bridal show or not, they are going to be online. That's their life. That's all they know how to do. So you want to be online. That's where you need to be to get in front of them with something like a lead magnet. This is going to show you how to grow your destination wedding leads on autopilot and grab the attention of those couples, turn them into those raving fans, and fill your business with the best wedding couples that light you up. Because again, your lead magnet and everything you do, your marketing message, everything is all geared toward who? Your ideal client. Okay. So that's what I have for you today. Again, go to brideattract.com to grab that free resource. Don't be shy. It's completely free. brideattract.com. It's literally my #1 resource I've ever made for free. It's very, very in-depth, and it's going to help you really map out a good strategy for your business. And even if you're not going to specialize in destination weddings, grab it, because it's still going to show you how to set up your business, to market your business, and you just kind of would have to, just change it up a little bit for it to be, luxury travel or whatever it is you specialize in. Feel free to reach out to me, stay connected with me on Facebook, stay connected with me on Instagram. I would absolutely love to stay connected with you there. And now we're going to open up for some Q&A. So I'm going to have Andrea, our wonderful moderator here today, come on back. Is that the word that I used? I don't remember if that's the right word. And see what we've got for some questions. Don't be shy. You got me here for a few minutes. You might as well ask me some questions. I'm happy to answer them. Okay. I don't know if Andrea's, I think she's on.
Sorry.
There you are.
Sorry, technology these days, geez. Well, right now we don't have any questions sitting in our queue, but maybe people are just trying to type it out. But I do have a question, Tammy, for you. Right now, what is the most popular wedding destination happening at this moment? We're trying to convince a couple in our friend group that's engaged to have a destination wedding so we can all go on vacation. So where are bride and grooms heading these days?
Oh, for me personally, I do specialize in Caribbean, Mexico, Hawaii. I tend to do more of the all-inclusive thing just because you make the most in this industry with that type of offer for couples, and it ends up being the best value overall for the guests and everything as well. But I would say, for the most part, you do get the most bang for your buck in Mexico, and usually that tends to be a good place, only because like most areas, like especially if couples have like people flying from all over the US, like you don't want to send them someplace where, you know, everybody on the West Coast has to do a red eye or, you know, that kind of a thing. So you want to always keep that in mind when you're sending people someplace. So yeah, the Cancun, Riviera Maya area, you have a lot of really great choices. You get a lot for your money there. But so that's really popular. I think Dominican Republic is also a really good place for that type of wedding. But again, it depends on what the vision is for your friend for that type of, you know, experience. So, but great question. Thank you.
Well, and as I've had mine answered, we had a plethora come in. So, so Denise asks, should we specialize in a destination specific? Like weddings, like only do weddings in one, you know, either Cancun or she mentioned Punta Cana.
You could do that, Denise. It's a great question. And I think that for me, like when I started doing destination weddings, like I said, I was like super scared. I was like, oh, I'll screw somebody's wedding up. So I started with what I knew, and I had already had my feet wet in Caribbean, Mexico, and that sort of thing. So I just kind of kept with that flow. But if you are already an expert in an area and now you just want to add destination wedding services, I think there's nothing wrong with that, but I would want you to eventually broaden your knowledge base through trainings, you know, with ASTO or whatever, because I feel like the more you know, the more valuable you become, the more of an expert you become. But if you've got enough business with just specializing in one area, you could certainly go for it. And I've known a lot of agents over the years who just do Mexico. That's it. Mexico only, Cancun Riviera, Mexico only, not even like, you know, Cabo or Puerto Vallarta, just Cancun Riviera Maya, Mexico. So you absolutely can do that and just have like, know that area and the resorts and everything there in and out, and you'll do well.
Awesome. So Denise has a follow-up. Have you personally visited the destination before sending a couple there?
I would say the majority of the time, yes. There are going to be times where it's a brand I trust because I have a really good relationship with them, and I've been to, let's say, several of their other resorts, and you can count on the brand, right? Then that would be a case where I would feel comfortable. But for the most part now, yes, I tend to recommend those places that I have been to, because I can hang my hat on it being, you know, a good experience. And you're not going to you know, here's the thing, you know, I have these great reviews. And it's not just because I'm just I'm just an amazing person. Oh my gosh. You know, it's not like that. Like, I'm just smart, right? I'm not going to start sending somebody someplace that I have no idea about. I have no relationship with them. I don't have any knowledge on that particular brand or resort at all, because it could come back and bite me, right? So, so yeah, good question.
So we have a couple of our attendees who sort of asked similar questions. So I'm going to kind of lump it together here. What trainings or certifications do you recommend before an advisor would begin selling a destination wedding?
I don't think you need anything in particular in order to, I mean, I know that it's one of those things, you do want to have a certification or become a specialist or something, and all of those things, but I don't think you necessarily need to have that. I think that the biggest thing, honestly, is just that resort knowledge, venue knowledge. And if you already, let's say you work heavily with AM resorts and you know them really well, you've sent a lot of families there, you've sent a lot of couples there, you've been to AM resorts, like start with that knowledge, right? And then build upon it and just learn the destination wedding side of things, and you know, start reaching out to the wedding teams and all that kind of thing. But I think that, you know, as you go, you should definitely, you know, let me just rephrase that. Don't let the idea that you need to have a certification stop you from offering destination weddings as a service. You can offer destination weddings as a service and get your certification later. Like, couples do not look for that kind of stuff. that they're not like, oh, are you a certified? They don't even know that something like that exists. So that's the furthest thing from their mind, right? They just want to know, can you help me? Do you care about me? Are you going to listen to what I want? That's what they want to know.
Awesome. So another question was, do you book air travel for the guests as well?
That would be a big no. If I can avoid airfare at all costs, I absolutely will avoid airfare at all costs. So it's your business, they're your services. So if you do not want to include airfare, then don't. It, as we all know, it can take up a lot of your time. It's not like you're going to make money on it unless if you charge a fee. So I will, in certain situations, say, yeah, I'll help you out, but here's my professional planning fee to, you know, set up your airfare. But I pretty much just leave it at, let your guests book their airfare. That way they can be up at, you know, 11 p.m. on a Sunday night and find a good deal and book it, because you don't want them waiting till Monday to reach out to me and then the flight price went up, right? So I always use that kind of a terminology when I talk to my clients about that.
Great. And this is a great question. And it says, how do you build your relationship with venues?
That is a good question. I would say that when I started specializing in destination weddings, I started doing destination wedding fam trips. And that was probably a good place for me to start with that, and just making those connections. Otherwise, you know, there are contacts that you can reach out to. You can, of course, reach out to any business development manager of a resort brand and say, hey, can you connect me with the wedding manager for, you know, whatever resort it is. And then you can, you know, just kind of introduce yourself, start a relationship there. But I think that the destination wedding fams and were probably a big part of my, you know, just creating that, you know, collaboration and, you know, face-to-face connections of networking.
Great. Yeah. And, you know, it's funny how the fees keep coming up in my travels this week and what people are talking about. If you are not charging a service fee for your expertise in something, please start. I mean, your time is very valuable, and
yep.
I mean, your accountant expects to get paid for his or her expertise. So that's so important. And, you know, not to plug, we have, you know, here at ASTA, the professional service fees course to learn about how to start doing that. And not to plug ASTA Global Convention, Tammy, which I know you'll be attending this year.
Yeah.
But what a great opportunity. If you're not registered for this event, we have a trade show full of destinations, full of resorts and different supplier partners who will be here, who will be happy to speak to you about this exact information, making those connections, and especially find your local chapter and see if they're having events, because many of the local BDMs will be at a chapter networking event. Right. So you can make those connections as well. So just a couple ideas to start you on this journey of building those relationships.
Yeah, yes, Andrea, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, that's a great way too, because, you know, you can't always there's not always just going to be a destination wedding fam going on or anything like that. And obviously I've been in the business for a lot longer. So, you know, this is like time, right? Over the years, lots of experience, lots of time that I've had. So yeah, I think the trade shows and that sort of thing are going to be key. And yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be my first global convention with you guys, and I'm going to be speaking. So if anybody's going, then sign up for my class that I'm going to be doing. I'd love to meet you.
Great. And I don't see any other questions coming in. And thank you everybody for such insightful questions. They were, you know, very, very, you know, good things to ask to be excited about starting this next journey with, you know, the next portion of people's businesses, and, you know, taking that leap of faith, as they say, to maybe start working on something that's outside of your comfort zone or outside of your, you know, area of expertise to challenge yourself. So what a great way to start off this, you know, the summer, and a lot of these honeymooners and weddingers have been pushing their ceremonies and their weddings for 2 years now. So they are really looking for someone to help them facilitate this for them. So I think maybe now is certainly the time to get into this.
It really is. It's amazing. And I've never seen anything like it with, trying to contact resorts. Hey, do you have this date available? Do you have that date available? And they're like, nope. And I'm like, no, it's not that bad. But people just have to be flexible. Some of those places, everybody still thinks Saturday. It's like, nah, just get married on a Friday, get married on a Thursday. That's the beauty of destination wedding. It's like, it doesn't matter what day it is. It all seems like a Saturday.
That's very true. If you're on the beach with a little umbrella drink, it's Saturday every day.
It is. So I'll take it.
Excellent. Well, Tammy, I don't see any other questions coming in, but again, everybody, her contact information is on the screen. If you want to go back and listen to this again, we will have it on our ASTA.org website in the next few days for your listening pleasure. And if you miss something, you'll be able to see the notes and get some notes from there. And again, if you haven't registered for ASTA Global Convention and you like what you heard from Tammy today, please sign up and register at astaglobalconvention.org. If you are registered, education courses are available now to sign up for. So please go in, and I have a feeling a lot of people are looking at this luxury area and different ways to engage their clients. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling these types of sessions will be selling out and filling up quickly. So go in today to your attendee service center and take a look for Tammy's course. And thank you again for your participation, Tammy. Thank you for your time and great information. And we will hopefully see everybody in San Francisco.
That's right. All right. Everybody have an awesome rest of your day. Connect with me on social, all of those fun things. And yeah, thanks so much. God bless you. God bless your businesses.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
See ya.